Hey guys, thank you for clicking onto this video. Man, man, there's a comedian, African American comedian called Aries. Aries Spears, whatever his name is, Aries Spears is a fun guy. This guy can imitate pretty much anyone. He's really fun. He's a funny guy. I like his comedy a lot. I watch his comedy, man. He's fantastic. But I was disappointed, man. It made me realize why teaching American history, especially Black American history in America, is very important. Because here is Aries Spears. He's on national TV, right? He's cracking jokes with this guy. He goes on national TV. And the woman there has cooked mac and cheese with different things, right? And as usual, which is the normal thing to do, she gives a history of mac and cheese in America. Now, this is live on American television, right? I'm not even American, okay? But in my mind, I'm thinking, man, if that was an educated Black American guy about the history of America on live television, I would take that as an opportunity to teach people about it. Because what that woman taught in that moment is like what what's his name? DeSantis is trying to do in Florida. Change history or tell 20% of the story and make that 20% as the 100%. And this is the same thing that people face, Black people face in learning history across the globe. It's the same thing. Same thing. Oh, now, it was the aliens. If white people didn't build it and it looks majestic and it stood there for thousands of years, then it was the aliens. Dude, people can do this. Hardworking people can do this. You know, they did it. They built the pyramids. Black people did. No. It was the aliens. Come get out of here, man. Oh, Black people did this. Oh, the Chinese did this. No, it was the aliens. It was people. It was people. That's it. That's there's nothing more to it. Oh, the ancient Egyptians were Black. No, they were white. Oh, really? Why is it that every time someone does DNA, the only people they connect to ancient Egyptian pharaohs today, and this is today, are Black people? You know. Oh, really? Look it up. It's very interesting. You know, and then when we say, then, oh, your people don't have history, so you are just trying to create something. No. Our history goes further than your history, so shut the F up, okay? This is why it's important, guys, to learn our history. Very important to learn our history. Watch this clip of Aries Spears on national television and is scoffed at an opportunity to teach people. And if most of you don't know, I'm going to use this opportunity to teach you too. So let's watch.
Show Love and Sarah comes on. It's always a blast, and this is going to be an even better segment because right away Aries is joining us again because he enjoys the cheese too. Yeah, oh yeah. Love the mac and cheese. And feel free, by the way, Aries, Sarah, Aries.
Hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
It's going to be good. It's going to be good. All right, well, welcome in. It is Mac and Cheese Day. What do you got? What are you doing over at the Ryan for Mac and Cheese Day?
We're just slinging mac and cheese like
Slinging
we're going out of business. Just kidding. We're not. 10 years strong.
Yes.
We have lots of mac and cheeses here to demonstrate for you guys. It doesn't have to be just your craft mac and cheese, although if you're on a good camping trip, not bad.
Yep.
Here we have not your mom's mac and cheese. We got pasta Espanola, and we've got a lobster mac without the lobster. She ran away on my way here. Whoa. And then we've got the portobello mushroom. It's a shroom mac. I really love it. It has some truffle oil on it, and normally I would put it with some like pea sprouts on top.
Right.
But I think that went with the lobster.
How delicious does this look?
Aries, are you on a scale of like 9 to 10? Are you a big mac and cheese guy? Or?
Come on, man, look at me, baby.
I feel you.
This was built by mac and cheese.
Oh yeah, so it's sturdy and strong and happy.
Absolutely.
Well, comfort food is really defined by texture and flavor. Cheese is a wonderful food. Let's cheers
I'm
to
gonna cheers.
cheese,
Yeah.
to National Mac
gonna
and
cheers.
Cheese Day. Aries,
Whoever wants
pleasure
in
to
there,
meet
yeah.
you.
You bet. Cheers it up.
Yeah.
I'll just drink out of the bottle. Just pass that down. Sorry.
Nice.
Sorry,
I'm
Scott.
That's all
No,
good.
we're really pumped about this. Again, mac and cheese kind of was inspired apparently by cheesy sauce pastas in France.
Yeah.
And I learned that Thomas Jefferson was really in love with the concept. And when he came back from his trip in France, he went ahead and started making some styles. And then eventually over time, not to say that he invented it, it evolved into mac and cheese, which is a staple.
I have a historical question.
Yeah.
You said Thomas Jefferson is associated with mac and cheese.
Associated.
Did he share any of it with the slaves?
He's probably rudely no.
Oh,
Fair
okay.
question.
I don't know. I don't know.
Fair.
These
I
are
mean,
questions that Aries Spears brings to the
Yeah.
table.
I mean, anyone who had slaves wasn't really in the right mind, right?
I didn't mean to make you uncomfortable. I was just
No,
trying to find out how deep mac and cheese really went.
How deep it goes.
Yeah.
I don't
Who
know.
was he sharing with? Is the
Yeah.
question
These
on the
are
table.
really good questions. Aries, I have to go back to the
gotta look that
Google
one up.
dogs. But no,
Is this
Jump in.
steak? I thought this was steak.
The mushrooms.
no, these are
Which is
oyster
the lobster?
mushrooms.
Lobster
So
here.
the lobster with
So, here's how the woman took the 20% and make it 100%. I'm going to tell you a story about this, right? Thomas Jefferson took his daughter and a few of enslaved people. You know, one of them was James Hemings. And if you know, Thomas Jefferson was sleeping with a 14-year-old girl called Sally Hemings. If you don't know, or Sarah called Sally Hemings. If you don't know, look it up. 14-year-old. This guy was older. This is after his wife died. So I guess it was probably 50-something. This was a 14-year-old kid that he was sleeping with, right? He gave her 6 kids. 6 kids. And 4 survived, 2 died. The funny thing is, here's the crazy part. This chick was the half-sister of Thomas Jefferson's wife. So which means Thomas Jefferson's wife slept with one of his slaves. So this was quite common. All right? And the saddest thing about all these things that Thomas Jefferson had these mixed kids and he still enslaved them. His own kids, they were still slaves. All right. But that's not the story for this. So Aries Spears asked this woman and say, did Thomas Jefferson teach any of his slaves about this? And she gets uncomfortable. And that's the thing about American history. You know, people get uncomfortable. That's why people don't want to talk about it. You know, it's the same reason why the movie The Color Purple didn't do so well. Because the history is disgusting. But still, it needs to be taught. You can't be using back doors and shortcuts and alternatives. Just tell it as it is. So we can all learn from it. Black people can learn from it. White people can learn from it. Even immigrants can learn from it. And that's how we create a better society for the future. It's disgusting, but yeah, it needs to be taught, just as it is. Right? So, Thomas Jefferson went to France. In France, they were eating this cheese and macaroni. Or macaroni and pasta. It wasn't even, cheese and pasta. Some girl called Elizabeth, whatever, I think was the first person to do it. And I want you to, I'm not saying the black guy invented pasta and cheese. I'm not saying that. Thomas Jefferson liked this thing so much. But one of the people he took there was a chef. Thomas Jefferson wasn't a chef. Okay? That woman said Thomas Jefferson was cooking. He wasn't a chef. So James Hemings went with him to France. And at that time in France, black people were actually treated better than in the USA. They were not slaves in France. They were more like freed. So he learned French cuisine. When they went back to Monticello, for most of you African Americans who don't know, this is the place where Thomas Jefferson used to live, right? It's a farm. When they went back to America, obviously Thomas Jefferson, we give him credit. He's the one who took these people to France. And this James Hemings did not invent pasta and cheese. But when they got to America, he perfected the art. He perfected the art of making it. And he was the chef, not Thomas Jefferson. Okay? Thomas Jefferson, yes, he was interested in that and he knew the ingredients, blah, 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 and all that stuff. Thomas Jefferson was a well-educated guy. He was apparently, if a pastor talked to him, you would think he was a pastor. If an engineer talked to him, you would think he was an engineer. If a journalist talked to him, you would think he's a journalist. You know, he was that smart. He was a smart guy, you know, but he was no chef. Okay? However, they've tried to make it as if he was the chef. No. The guy who was trained as a chef was James Hemings. And he probably saw the talent in this guy and trained him. So credit to Thomas Jefferson. There's a lot of things I don't agree with him. But on that one, let's give credit where credit is due. That's the thing about black people. You know, we just like to tell the truth. You know? So we give him credit there, right? So he trained up this brother, James Hemings. And he was good at it. He perfected mac and cheese the way it is today, the way you guys see. He perfected that to a point where almost every visitor that had dinner at Monticello would write about mac and cheese. They would ask for the recipe and all that stuff. But listen to what this woman only knew, because that's what gets taught. And when he said that, she didn't even know. She had no idea. Now, if Aries Spears knew what the history behind this was, man, that would be an opportunity I would take advantage of. I'll mention James Hemings, and I'll make people watching that to go and do their own research. And they put some respect on this man. That's the bedman move now. Put some respect on James Hemings' name. You know, but he didn't. I don't know whether he was scared, but something tells me he just himself doesn't know. And this is why we need history. History. Because when we learn this, I even found out, even ice cream. A guy who perfected ice cream, he did not invent it. We have to tell the truth. This man did not invent it. I'll find out his real name. But he perfected it to a point where I think he was a slave owned by George Washington. This dude perfected ice cream as we know it today, to a point where after George Washington died and was released, he started making ice cream. So here's the things we can learn from this. And this is why African history, especially in America and even in Africa, is very important. Because then we have to find out why these people. So the guy who invented macaroni and cheese, the guy who perfected macaroni and cheese could have started a business. How come he didn't start this until Kraft created this mac and cheese thing? But that man could have done it. Or they could have even given credit to him. Remember, Jack Daniels, similar story. It says now today that even Jack Daniels' family, they've come to accept that actually the formula for Jack Daniels was from a black man who worked for him. Fortunately, one of this man's ancestors is creating a wine based on his formula and perfecting it. And today, this wine, I think it's called Uncle Simus or something like that, bourbon. And I'll encourage every black person to start buying this, because that's how we support black brands. You know, so imagine if these people had developed some of these things, but at that, in their time, they couldn't do it. They just couldn't do it. And that's what we need to start to realize, that if we can actually start promoting each other right now. This is why things like InvestFest are so important in knowing how we can come together and work together, start investing in our own businesses. But because there are not many black businesses right now to invest in, let's invest in these same companies that we don't own, but we can own them through investing. And then use that money, the money we make from that, to invest in our own companies. So that the next future, in the next 100 years, your name, everyone will know about it. So that we don't have this blunder that Aries Spears just did there. Start asking as if, oh, was there a slave? Come on, man. Come on. That's an opportunity for you to say something and make people watching that to go and do their research about black history. And put some respect on James Hemings. So many things people don't know today. The problem is you don't know it. And I gotta tell you something. There's a saying that goes like this. Whoever controls the past controls the present, and whoever controls the present controls the future. Which of these three state parts are black people controlling? History, present, or future? Nothing. Nothing. And when we say let's do something about it, some black people come around, start pulling us this side, calling themselves conservatives. It's funny, guys. But hey, please, 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 if you're African American, spend some time every day to learn about your history. If you are black, spend some time every day to learn about your history. If you're African, spend some time every day to learn about your history. Do some research. We're living in a world where access to information is available to anyone. That thing you are carrying in your pocket, don't abuse it by watching things that don't add value to your life. Use it wisely by looking at things that add value to your life. And one of those things is learning your history. It's very important. It changes how you feel inside. It does. It does wonders when you know your history. When you find out that the reason why we have been able to get rid of things like chickenpox, polio, and all that stuff is because of vaccination. And you find out that an enslaved man called Onesimus introduced vaccination to America. Inoculation. It makes you proud of who you are. And when you have that pride, then you start to believe. And then when you start to believe, you start to achieve. And once you start to achieve, you start writing your own history. That's how we do it. Thanks, guys. But promise me you're going to read something. I don't care what it is. Read a book about African history. The one I will recommend you to read is a book titled When We Ruled by, I can't remember his name exactly, but he's a British guy. Very smart guy. I'll post some of his stuff on my channel now. When We Ruled. Look it up. Thanks, guys. And thanks for watching. Please, please subscribe to this channel. Thank you. Goodbye.